Let me hear you say ba 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 da ba 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 da ba 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 da ba 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 da ba 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 da ba 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 da ba 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 da. Crazy at this think of love, just what I've been dreaming of. I can never figure out, oh, how you do the things you do. That's why I'm so in love with you. I like the way you make me smile. Boy, you give me butterflies. And when I look into your eyes, I'll see the future, me and you. That's why I wrote this song for you. Just want you to know what I think of you. L-O-V-E-Y-O-U. Baby, you've got a things you make your girl say. L-O-V-E-Y-O-U. If I met you in another life, and you asked me to be your wife, with grace and a smile I say, yeah, always now and forever. You be my one and only lover. Cause I love the way you make me smile. Boy, you give me butterflies. And when I look into your eyes, I'll see the future, me and you. That's why I wrote this song for you. Just want you to know what I think of you. L-O-V-E-Y-O-U. Baby, you've got a things you make your girl say. L-O-V-E-Y-O-U. Ba 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 da ba 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 da ba ba.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Tony Commander J.R. Glapohkpa Chesson. This morning, I'm in Seacom on Thornton Avenue at Sarcastic Suites. I'm here with the proprietor. Ma'am, could you introduce yourself to us and tell us how long you've been here?
So my name is Nina Reed. I'm from Anchorage, Alaska, but I've had the store here in I had it based in Rhode Island for 10 years, where I had my food truck, and this is our first year in Seacom, Massachusetts. So we've been here for a full year as of August 19th.
So tell us about Sarcastic Suites.
So what to tell you about Sarcastic Suites? We started out as a food truck. We do custom orders, cakes, weddings, pickups, deliveries, birthday parties, colleges, fundraisers, churches, very important to me. We do all of those types of events, but then we were finally able to get a store through a lot of savings and fundraising and things like that here in Seacom, Massachusetts. So we still service Rhode Island quite a bit, but we also service a lot of Massachusetts. And we have the bakery portion, which is Sarcastic Sweets, and the Alaska Treehouse portion of things, which is the breakfast, lunch, smoothies, cafe portion of things. So you can come in and do your work like an internet cafe, or you can have breakfast with your family, or lunch. We do breakfast all day, because in Alaska you can have breakfast any time of the day. Any time of the day could be breakfast. Pastries, movie, special orders.
This is fantastic. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Tony Commander J.R. Glapohkpa Chesson talk show. This is January 3rd, 2023. Wow. We woke up this morning to 33 degrees in Providence, Rhode Island. No snow, precipitation all day. It's going to be raining. Take your coat, take your umbrella, take your poncho, take whatever you got to take over you, or else you're going to get soaking wet. Okay? It's not going to be raining the early part of the mornings. It's going to be cloudy. But after 9, 10, 11, take heed and govern yourselves accordingly. Safety first, seatbelts. Okay? What's happening in the world today? Let's take a moment of silence for our two great leaders who are laid out in state this morning. Pope Benedict the 16th of the Vatican City and Pelé of Brazil. Both of these gentlemen will be laid out in state. The Pope is already laid out, and Pelé is going to be laid out today in state in this country. So let's take a second or two of respect, pay our respects to these people. May their souls rest in perpetual peace. Now, what's happening with our country in Liberia, man? Apparently, we are facing a constitutional crisis. Seriously. We hear that NPP in the news that they're going to select a new standard bearer for their party. Their party is doing away with the vice president of Liberia, Howard Taylor. Is she going to form a new party? What's she going to do? That's the news in the air now. I just hear in the here and there that maybe Kuhn, one of the leaders of NPP, going to assume the leadership as a standard bearer and run for the presidency of the country. So where would Howard Taylor be? Where would she be? Where would George Weah be? Who is he going to select as vice president? There's crisis all over our country, my people. Crisis in the ANC, LP, UP, and now the CDC. So let's look at these things. I'm going to go through all these three. We got 4 candidates right now. If Kuhn comes in with doesn't anticipate a 5th candidate, So let's look at these candidates and see, from my perspective, some of the things that are concerned about these people. Let's look at them. Okay, first let's start with the President George Weah. Let me bring his picture up and let's deal with that. Let's deal with this guy here. President George Weah. This man has served as Senator of the Republic of Liberia. During his tenure as Senator, he was the most useless senator we ever had. Even Prince Johnson complained that George Weah was irresponsible. He went to represent Liberia in Ghana or one of those places. He had a state in the conference. He was highly active as Senator of Liberia. We elected him president. All of this is because of football. Now, after one term of his presidency, let's look at some of the things. George Weah is still handicapped. He's a handicap. This man is a high school dropout. Now we call him Doctor. That's the first off the bat. That's the first failure right there. Whoever has that just shows the extent of his ignorance. All the people getting one doctorate degree, people with 2-3 doctorate degree, whoever calling them doctor. Nobody calling them doctor. But here is an ignoramus of the poorest nation in Africa. Got all these degrees and won't be called doctor. That in itself demonstrates the level of ignorance of this man. Let's move on. George Weah has a reading handicap. He can't read. We saw him reading through the Bible on Sunday. He had difficulty even reading that. But no problem about that. The Bible is difficult to read. That's all I admitted. I must say I have problems reading the Bible. So why would the ignoramus of all the books in the world, you take the Bible to go read to the Liberian people? This is not a Christian nation. You're not a Christian leader. Why will you demonstrate your ignorance in our churches before our sacred institutions? Why? George Weah is a bobo. George Weah can't talk. He can't face us anywhere else but in the church. Is that juju? Is that church his safe haven for witchcraft and all of that? Because what kind of precedent is this? You cannot address the nation in the pavilion. You cannot in the executive pavilion, which is the major place that our presidents address the nation at. You don't address the people at the city hall, which is another venue. You don't address the people nowhere but the fucking Cologne church. What is that? What is that? That is a disgrace to our country. Disgrace. This man is not a pastor. This man is not even a Christian. George Weah never had a church in his life. When he was a soccer player, we never saw George Weah worshiping anybody. Now all of a sudden, he's a pastor. He got church. He got followers. This is a mockery of our Christian institution right there. Then move on. George Weah has sex for hire. All the people around him, men and women, are questionable as either homos, gays, or something freakish. The president himself is a debased human being. He sleeps with men and women. He has no sanctity to his own institution, his body. He kisses Akari's grave. He kisses Molu. He kisses everybody. He just kisses. This guy didn't kiss everybody around here. We got a kissing, loving president. Sex for hire. So look at the institution of our economy. Right now, we're talking about the Western corridor, the Cape Mount, and what the other place, and Bombing, and all the other counties in the western side of Liberia. Corruption, stealing, Massive stealing. George Weah himself is a rogue. Look at all the budget. Everything this man getting the most amount of our budget. Why would the president get so much money without any accountability? George Weah went on a trip. He came back. He has not reported to us. He has not. He played football game, basketball game, everything else instead of reporting to us. All our officials now are coming from the Eastern Corridor. I mean this Western Corridor, Eastern Corridor. I mean, our country is just messed up. Totally messed up. Electronics don't have to tell us that. We see it every day. Boakai don't have to tell us that. We see it every day. The massive stealing, the massive incompetence, the massive corruption, everything under this one leadership. 6 years, our country is dead. But we can't blame him. It started from Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. Ellen Johnson Sirleaf served one good term, help our country a little bit, but then she found out that they couldn't control our people. What happened to all the people Ellen brought? They left. All the good professional people she brought in her first term. Why they left? Then she started filling places with her children. Broke down our whole country. Now to hide her corruption, she broke our country down, introduced this man to the international community and said, this is the man we want for the future of Liberia. Is this the future of Liberia? The man go to church drunk. He pissed in the church. All kind of debasing thing this guy has done to us as a people. He hurt us as a country and the people. He hurt us. Hurt our economy. Hurt the future of our children. And we're still going to give him 6 more years. You'll consider it. You'll consider it. Because let me tell you first of all, I made it clear in my notes, I'm not coming to Liberia for the next 12 years. I'm not working for no government. It's not in my best interest to work for Liberian government. I don't care who become president. If you all know me, you all know I'm not a greedy man for position. I will know behind Ellen. I'm now behind. I want no position. Because I come to the realization that we have no leaders to bring our country back to prominence within the next 12 years. Let's see what Boakai will do. Boakai been in government from time immemorial. He's coming to take the helm of our country now. Let's see what he'll do. He got all the young boys around him, all the Yula boys around him. Everybody say, we'll do that, we'll do this, do that. Everybody speaking except Boakai. All the people around Boakai speaking except Boakai. Let me bring him up. So we know that Weah is no match for our country. He has destroyed our country. He has disbased our moral institutions. And it's time for George Weah to go. I mean, just the mere fact this man has debased every secret institution, sacred institution, not secret, sacred. That means holy institution of our country. This man has debased it. He's debased it. He sleep with our young girls. He sleep with boys. He sleep with people in the government. He sleep with the man has no morals. We talk about drugs coming into our country. $100 million worth of cocaine. This is not the first time. It's just that somebody was smart enough to help us catch it. But drugs been coming in our country under this man forever. Because all of them, they all to deal with drugs. Look at Jamaica Lodge. George Weah is a drug dealer there. They say he sells marijuana right there, $100 a joint. We know about this. All of us know that our president is a drug dealer. He's a drug seller. He's a drug user. Drug everything. He, his wife, and everybody, all of them in that cahoot. We've been through this debasement for 6 years. Are we going to go through it for another 6 more years? As Christians, this man has brought our institution down. And God will punish us. He's already punishing us for it. Will he punish us more? Because we got these kind of useless people going in the churches, standing in the pulpit, and using politics to debase our sacred institutions. Then we call it church. These people are juju practitioners. These people don't know about Jesus Christ. Yeah, they read in the Bible and they talk about it. Then they leave and then they go make ritualistic sacrifices. 3 people missing from Liberia. George, we are responsible for it. Our 4 auditors killed. George, we are responsible for it. We can't go on like this. Look at all the ritualistic killings going on in the country. Look at all the massive stealing go. I mean, if the stealing is so disbasing, you can't even point to any one stealing. It's all over. The whole damn government corrupt. And I told you, my people, I left my country in 1980 because of corruption. I had a good job. I was getting $1,000 a month as legal counsel at the Treasury Department. I wasn't working. To show you how influential I was as a young man, a young lawyer. I wasn't working. They didn't want to give me the job. They were playing our Congo and country shit. I said, okay, y'all play it. I'm on the payroll. Let me see who will move me off the payroll. And nobody moved me on the payroll till I left Liberia. 7 months, I was getting $1,000. And I wasn't working a damn day. Why? Because our people create those kind of situations with this tribalism, with this useless hatred, jealousy, and all that kind of thing. You play that thing with me? My people built my damn country. I was getting $1,000 for 7 months. I didn't work a damn day in my life. The minister had to get pissed off and call me. He said, Chesson, you're making plenty of money. You got to work for it. I said, but you the people in this institution that keeping us out. I'm a lawyer. Why would you want to play this tribalism shit with me? Kill my pa, destroy my family. Then I'm one of the most educated people in my country. You want to keep me down. For what? For what? And the same thing perpetuating that is very day, the corruption, the stealing, the deception, the lies, the treachery. Our society is damned. We need good leaders to punish people because we can't rehabilitate our country. These people don't want rehabilitation, so they got to face punishment. Because if you can't really rehabilitate the people, then they got to be punished as rehabilitation. Because rehabilitation, it means counseling, care, looking at the issues and the problems and trying to resolve them amicably. But if our people can't stand on the grounds of peace and unity and stability, then we got to use discipline to strengthen up our country and our people's minds. We got to use discipline, force, flogging. Otherwise, our country will not change because our country is going down, down, down. Let's look at the next man, Joseph Boakai. Joseph Boakai is the next man that people look into in Liberia to be president of Liberia. He's the vice president of Liberia under Ellen Johnson Sirleaf for 12 years. They did nothing. Joseph Boakai was a part of that institution. He supported it. He encouraged it. He embellished it. That was a nepotistic regime, and he got rich from it. Joseph Boakai, one of the most filthy rich Liberian people in Liberia today. He's filthy rich. He's from the old order. Okay, he changed Liberia. Let's look at his record. Joe Boakai couldn't even get a vice president last election. Right now, Joe Boakai cannot decide to get a vice president. Why? That's just an indication of leadership issues. You are mayor leading a country for 2 administrations now, for 2 elections now. You can't get vice president. You can't make a fucking decision. And Joe Boakai is the problem of the CPP dissolving. Let's face the fact. This is an old statesman who respect. He sat there and let those 2 young boys, Benana Ure and Alexander Cummings, fight among themselves that they're useless bitches. Useless, dumb bitches. They fought among themselves. And Joseph Boakai sat down there and didn't intervene because he was taking sides with one of them. You know, and this is the kind of deceitful treacherous things that always bring our country down. The man won't rule us. Right now, Joseph Boakai is the best thing we got to lead us. But he can't make decisions. He got a problem with the people all around him. He himself got a problem with the people around him. If he didn't have a problem with people around him, he would have made a decision already who would be a vice president. But he got a problem. He's indecisive. This man can't make decisions. For how long Boakai stayed in government? For 20 years, he never made decisions. He was just yes sir, yes sir, yes sir, yes sir, yes sir. Now he got a chance to make decisions. He's too conditioned to being yes sir, to take the lead to lead our country. So we're watching him. We're watching him. Is Costa going to make the decision for his administration? Or Lobo? Or Anthony Cassidy? Or the Eula boys? Who's going to run this administration? Joe Boakai has not taken a vice president yet. He hasn't taken a vice president yet. That's an indication that this man has problem making decisions. Where our country stay in limbo, all these things you're talking about changing. How you change the country, you can't make decisions. You got to make decisions to lead Liberia. So you sit down there, you see the country going to disarray, the people fussing among themselves, you will not say nothing about it in your administration. You be jealous how Benana you and Cummings were, broke down the whole institution because you kept silent. Joe Boakai is to blame for CPP being destroyed. He is the most senior statesman among all the two young bitches, Alexander Cummings and Benana Yuri. And he's going to make a damn decision to tell those young fools to stop acting like fools. So because of his inability to stand up as a man, that whole organization destroyed. And yet we are again, he can't choose a damn vice president. This man don't know how to lead. This man either too old or something wrong with him. What kind of man you can't make decisions? You can't trust nobody around you. So there's a problem right there. Okay? So right there, this Joe Boakai will take our country and we have a problem with decision making. You know, you take 2 years to select one vice president. You take 3 years to select one vice president. You take 5 years. You mean from the last administration, from the last election, Joe Boakai hasn't looked around to decide who can choose as vice president yet? I mean, how long has it been? So right there, I will conclude on this man that Joe Boakai has a problem making decisions. He has a problem. And if this is kind of leadership he bring into our new dispensation, it will not work. Because right now, our country is so debased and backward. We need people who can make decisions, people who will guide our country in the right direction, people who will stand up to punish those who do wrong. Is Joe Boakai capable for all of that? He can't, right now, the man can't make decisions. I'm sorry, Liberian people. I'm supporting nobody. I'm just being realistic. This man can't make decisions. So he's an indecisive man. So Unity Party is in the air right now. Let's look at a nice man. Mr. Alexander Cummings. What his forte? Alex Cummings guy, I've been trying to understand this guy, man, because he's partially an outsider, partially an insider, and partially a nobody. Who is Alex Cummings? We don't know Alex Cummings because Alex Cummings is not stable. Alex Cummings' judgment is poor. I've been talking this thing over. The man's judgment is poor. His poor. You mean of all the people Alex Cummings is associated with, not only in Liberia, in the diaspora, he can't find people to go home and work with him to build his party. Costa can come from America with 15 people to join him. And they sit now in Liberia talking about the new dispensation of our country now. I just watched a video of Costa talking to his people. And Elliot Cummings cannot bring people home to work with him to change Liberia. He depending on the same people in our country to join with them. How will Elliot Cummings change anything? He's a failure. His own philosophy has failed. We cannot continue to do the same thing and expect something different. And he's doing this fucking same thing. This useless motherfucker is doing the fucking same thing. You know, you come with all this damn rhetoric, then you go take the same people that be in the other institutions and be misleading our country for years to be with you. Of all of them, Musa Ability. Who is Musa Ability? From Torba time, that man has been in corruption. From Torba time, we have heard Ability naming all kind of crocodile things. Not that the man you take to make. I don't blame you because our whole country is screwed. Who put Ability in power? Darius Dillon, Dominic Kanga, and the Liberty Party people, they brought him in power. So that just demonstrate, man, we have a problem to the very core of our country. To the very core of our country. We don't have no good people in Liberia to lead us. All these people got problems, man, serious problems. You know, and I can't understand Elliot Cummings. Elliot Cummings is just like a flip-flopper. He don't know what to do. And, you know, his judgment is poor, his action poor, his retaliation poor, everything poor about this guy. Everything poor about this guy, you know. He may be knowledgeable with money and all of that, but his politics is dead on arrival. It's dead. Because he look Abu, like an Abu Kili. He yell Abu. He Abu for everything. Abu for position, Abu for money, Abu for power, Abu for everything. Abu. And you go to any length to succeed. And you can't be that kind of way. You can't be that kind of way. You can't be one to go to any length to succeed or achieve something. You leave the good people and go to people that Musa Ability and all these people and form alliance with these people. Then you tell us you want change shit. How shit will change? You're a damn liar. Because the same shit you talking about changing, you're not changing it. You do the same damn shit you telling us not to do. You tell us that we do the same thing, it will not change. Then you go in and collecting the same corrupt people to be with you and say you form a coalition and you expect us to see change? Are you a damn stupid man? There's something wrong with this guy. Elliot Cummings is stupid. Now let's look at the other guy. Gongloe! The man with the dry broom. That guy better be careful shaking that broom, all that shit with your bread or brick. You carrying the dry broom around. How you sweep with that kind of broom? Look at the broom. That broom to sweep. All the broom we got in Liberia. All the good broom we got. They may take no fat, the broom with little brittles and things. You go take that kind of skinny broom. That broom will sweep floor. Give me a damn break, man. Just look at the damn broom. You can tell that man I'm fucking serious. How you go sweep floor with all the brittles going on the broom? You put a broom here when we got good brooms in our country. We got brooms that are richer than this. We're more what you call the fiber. Look at that kind of broom. This is a fucked up broom. And this is a man want to sweep. Can that broom sweep anything? Y'all tell me, my people, can this fucked up broom sweep anything? These are the shit that people bringing to us as advertisement. Just looking at the broom, you know this man ain't got nothing to offer us. Of all the brooms in Liberia, you go put this broken down, dirty, nasty broom here to say that the broom representing your party. Look at even the broom here. I mean, your symbol is a representation of you. All the rich brooms we got in Liberia there. I say real rich 100 brooms. You go take this messed up, dry up broom to represent you. That just shows this is another man from the old order, from Toba and all the kind of order. My people, what we standing in? What we standing? You want to be a leader. Bring something that is representation of you and what you stand for. Don't bring something like old useless broom. Look at that dirty broom there, man. Come on, man, my people. You are president, running for president. You put a kind of broom behind you. This is a useless broom. This broom is indicative of what this man will bring to us. Uselessness. Uselessness. I don't care what he say he is. You, the leader of a party. Of all the brooms in our nation, we've seen fresh brooms. Rich. You go put a kind of chicken broom here where people now use over and over that all the brittles gone. Then you put it there as some kind of representation of your party. That's a fucked up broom. Check yourselves before you wreck yourself. I mean, my people, everything we do is representative of who we are. Every symbol, every sign, every logo is representative of us. It's our party leaders cannot demonstrate that they understand all these things. We got some serious shit issue, man. And right now, I don't know what we're going to do in our country. I don't know what we're going to do because we are facing some very serious political and constitutional crisis. Serious constitutional crisis. And I don't know how we're going to handle this thing. It's very serious. So maybe our things will just work itself out for us. Hopefully. But before I forget and move on, that's my just shot, my little shot intake into what I see us going into with these leaders. Now I hear the fourth party, NPP, may be coming up with their own candidate now that they've done away with the vice president, the current vice president, our Taylor. We don't know where she's going. We don't know what that party is saying, that George Weah party now. He's supposed to be carrying Joel Howard Taylor as his vice president. The NPP, the National Patriotic Party, which is her party, is in crisis. They don't want her as vice president no more, as standard bearer of the party no more. So if she's not standard bearer, who is George Weah going to select as vice president? So she's nowhere no more. She's in the loop. She's outside the loop. Is she independent? Will she run independent? Is she going to run independent? Then she got to make up her mind. So the president can choose an independent candidate. But right now, Joel Howard is without a party. The people ripped the party for another woman. You see? So what we say, we don't know. We are facing a very serious constitutional crisis. Very, very serious. Now, let me move away from all of this. Let's look at this Keith Daniel show that was supposed to occur in Liberia. I wanted to stay away from it, but it is important that as many of us have an input in this thing as we can, because it impacts our country and our society. You know, I know our musicians in Liberia have been going on hard times for long. Even when I was in Liberia 5 years ago, I met with some of them and I decided that when I come home, I will form the institution to give them legal protection for the music, for the royalties and all of that. And I'm in touch with one or two of them. They still contact me, say, you remember us? You say you're coming home to help us. And those are things that I want to do for our poor society that needs help. Our entertainment industry, our women. Those people, those are industries that need building up and help. So Keith Daniel is a superstar. He's coming to Liberia. The first mistake was the people who were reading this thing did not fully find out the complication and implication and verifications and ramifications or what it is to rent a plane, a private plane, from one country to another country in Africa. That's the first problem. Even me in America here, I got property on the islands. I got townshare. I had plenty. One time I had to give up some of them because when the COVID-19 and all these things came, some of them, they trick you. I got tricked into buying things I didn't want. So when it came time to really look at the contracts I had, some of the contracts were fucked up. They cheated me on some of the contracts. They tried to steal from me. You know, right now, people calling me from the IRS and all those kind of things, saying, Mr. Chesson, your name all over the place because people try to steal everything I had. Once you go international, you start getting time shares and all these things, conducting business internationally with money. You got people who want to steal from you. And they will use your name and all kind of things. So you got to be very mindful of those things. That's what the IRS is doing, play with money laundering and people dealing with things across ocean and things like that. That's why you got to, some of those things you need a lawyer. When you do those kind of things, sometimes you do to protect yourself. Okay? To protect yourself. Or if you know what to do, you call the IRS before and tell them, look, I'm doing so and so. Right now, even with my school in Ghana, people when they reported me said, I'm fraudulent, I'm doing this and that. The IRS wrote me, put me on an investigation all for fraud and all of that. But I had to tell them, you found fraud, come get me. If you come get me and there's no fraud, I'm suing your asses for every damn thing you own. You charge me with a crime and you come arrest me, you don't got no damn charge, you can't prove it, I'm suing you for every damn thing you own. And that's why I told them. They said, Mr. Chesson, we charging with fraud because we say you in Ghana, you're doing this. I said, no problem. Come arrest me, but you better have some proof because if you don't have no damn proof, I will sue your asses under the sun. They back down. Because whoever coming to investigate me and charge me, I can sue them and the IRS personally and jointly. And fuck you up personally too. So you think you got charged against me? Come on. But we have to understand these things, especially us in America here that want to help our people in Africa. There are issues and ramifications with fraud, corruption, thievery, all kinds of things, man. Our people, everybody wants to steal. Everybody wants something that don't belong to them. And this is what happened in our country. So the IRS and these institutions in America got to protect Americans. They got to protect you against yourself sometimes. That way they put hold on everything under you. Even the banking institution, you travel to Africa, you keep in touch with your bank, they can freeze your account. Especially using your bank account in America to transfer money to you in Liberia, they will freeze it. It happened to me. So you got to always have your bank on the phone. Hey, this is me. Release my money. You got to do it, or they will freeze it. They will not send it to you. Even you call them before you leave. You know how many times I've called the bank and tell her I'm going to this country. I will be using my credit card and this and this. Okay, Mr. Chesson, go. As soon as I go, they freeze it. Luckily, we got communication these days. You can call America. I got to call my bank from wherever country I'm in. Even when I was in Liberia, I had to call my bank from Liberia to release the money because they block it. So when you're having a show, the first thing is the arrival of the talent, the artist. If the artist is supposed to arrive in the morning, then he come in at night, you know the show is kaput. It can't go on. It failed. Because the artist's arrival is one of the main proponents to the show, that the artist is there. So if the artist is performing that night, he's supposed to arrive in the morning. He arrives in the morning. Then you can iron up every issue you got to iron up before the show at night. But if the artist arrives in the evening before the show or in the night and the show the next day or something, and everything is a clusterfuck, nothing can go on. Nothing can go on. The show will be a flop. It will be a flop. So that's what happens. And you got to understand something. When you're dealing with Liberian people, we are not dealing with the Liberian people of long ago. The new Liberian children have no respect for people. They only care about themselves. They have been lied to too many times. They have been misused and deceived too many times. So they themselves got to protect themselves. I would never come to Liberia to have a show up money to pay the actors because you know right there will be problems. These guys are struggling. Just the mere fact that they're struggling. You can't compare Keith Daniels with the people in Liberia. That's the only thing. So you can't come to a struggling people who struggling to survive, have been deceived, mistreated, lied to, bamboozled. Then you come and tell them to come perform for nothing again. They will not do it. Common sense, man. You can't do that. And the same thing occurred too, that you people say, oh, you pay foreigner all our money to come and you telling us to perform free there after the show. Even you sincere, you can't do that. It will not happen. You don't know Liberian people. You don't know Liberian people. So just the mere fact that you're going to have a show and you expect that Liberian people will perform for nothing to get money at the end of the day, you must be joking. Our whole country is corrupt. From the president to the super corrupt. We don't trust each other. We lie to each other. We deceive each other. We bamboozle each other. Those children were never going to get their money back. I give a damn. You should pay the children. Pay them. Our Liberian people lie too much. Our Liberian people are deceitful. Whether we come pretending that we're sincere, in the end, we get screwed. The only people you trust are people with track records of being trusted and paying money. You got track record? I ain't dealing with you. No. Because I don't want to say all Liberian people are dishonest. No, I know I'm not dishonest. I pay my bills. Right now in America, there are certain doctors I can go to. They will treat me with any bill. They will treat me or putting money down because they had treated me before and I pay them. I go to people, they will give me money, but they're not something you want to do. Because when people loan you money, you got to pay it back. You don't got the money to pay it back. You can't go borrow the people money. Or people like people with integrity. People don't have to run behind you for your money. Wow, when you ain't running behind me for your money, I'll pay you. I'll pay you. So my doctors then that treat me, my insurance can't cover the thing. But I've dealt with them before and they know they can trust me. And they will say, Mr. Chesson, will do so and so. I say, yes, I'll give you so and so. I'll take care of the rest. And they know they don't have to run behind me. They don't have to be calling me. If I miss one month, that's because of something. But I've dealt with plenty of people in this country. And that's integrity. That's honesty. If I don't have it, I will call and say, hey, Doc, I'm sorry, man. I ain't got the money this month, man. Can you give me a break? At least I'm not dissing them. I'm not saying I'm not paying it this month because I ain't got the money. I will not call them. You got to call the people and show them respect. You owe them. So this whole Keith standard thing, man, you can't tell our artists to perform for nothing. I don't care who it is. Because our society is corrupt. The Liberian society is dishonest. Our leaders, you can't trust nobody in our society. That's a fact. That's a damn fact. You cannot trust no Liberian. They will come to you with all this truthfulness. Then in the end, you will get shafted. You will get shafted. When you go talk with them, they will not be talking kind and nice. You say, oh man, you can see, I lost this, where you got the money business. Our Liberian people pay the people their money. You want to act? Pay them their money. When our whole society is corrupt and useless and deceitful, you can't trust nobody in our society. Nobody in Liberia has credit. When people come to me in Liberia and say, credit me, I say, no, I will give you. People come to me and say, Chesson, please credit me $100, $200. I said, no, I'll give you $20. You go to somebody else and find the other $20. You don't have to pay me back for that $20. You got $20. But I can't credit you. Liberian people don't pay. You know how much money I've lost in Rhode Island? I go to people, my friends that catching hell, I give them money. I say, do so and so with this money to bring your business up. First of all, they will not do it. They will take the money and use it for something else. Then to pay me, they can't pay me back. So I don't loan people money. You come to me and say, Chesson, please do me $50. I need to do something. I say, okay, I'll give you $10. I say, don't pay me back. That's my contribution. Go look for the other $40 somewhere else. I don't loan people money. But I will give you a helping hand. I don't, because people shaft you all the time. You loan people money, they don't pay you, they got excuses. You know how many thousands of dollars I've lost out there from trying to help Liberian people, poor people, to help them with their businesses and things to elevate themselves. They lose the business, lose my money, can't pay me back. That's why I can't suffer. I don't want to pay people for money to pay me back. I don't loan people money. You ask me for a loan, I give you my share to help you. You go find the other share. But we're not loaning money. Because many people have shafted me. You know? If I want money, I go to the bank. I ask for credit to the bank. I don't go to my friends to borrow $10, $15. I borrow from my wife. Hey, you got money on you, baby? Women always have money. Sometimes my wife get money from different places. So I when I know she got money, I ask her, I said, baby, you got $20? Yeah. What you need? 10, 20? Yeah. That's how it works. But people will not just give you money to that. And we got to stop deceiving our Liberian actors and artists. We got to stop deceiving them. Listen to Gali. How you work with Ben and you to get some kind of money, and Ben and you were promising, oh boy, get it, you get share. When Ben and you got the money, you didn't want to see Gali no more. You know, you can't do those kind of things. That's just dishonesty. If people are doing that thing in America here, you do that thing in America, you lose. You lose. In America, corruption, yeah. Corruption, yeah. But if you don't understand the American system and the way how the people corruption run, you will never understand it. You will understand because like, the people here will not come and beg you for money, give me money. You got to understand the system. You don't understand the system. Every day corruption go on in America. But it's not in the form of corruption like that. People give me this, give me no. That's civilized corruption. Civilized corruption. You got to understand the corruption. It's corruption. Some things that go on is corruption. I'm law enforcement. It's corruption. But the people used to doing it that way. So everybody look the other way and say, fuck it. If it's not something to get caught over. But there's a different form of corruption. Some of it is subtle. You can never catch it. Some of it is subtle. That's why to catch corruption is hard. It's hard. In this America here, plenty of corruption. But you got to be smart to catch it. You got to be smart. People don't yet come and say, give me money here. Some people do. Look at some real dumb corrupt people who say, give me the, you see the show on TV, they got, and dumb criminals and all of that. They got dumb criminals. They got some dumb criminals here. They will do some stupid shit. You yourself will shake your head and say, damn, this guy got dumb. But they got some other guy, the corruption is, if you're not smart to corruption, you would never pick it up. You would never pick it up. Because it's ingrained in the society. It's ingrained in the society. Just like Liberia is corrupt. Every country got corruption. Everybody looking to steal something. But everywhere got laws that are enforced. They don't joke with the laws. So if there's corruption, you better make sure that it's in a way that even you caught, they can't really prove that it's corruption. That's the kind of corruption in America here. It's so subtle. Because everybody want money, man. That when you get caught, you got to prove it. You can't prove it, you lose. Even the cops are not going to take their hands off it. They know it's corrupt, but you got to prove it. Those are the kind of corruption ingrained in the society as a whole. Everybody do that kind of corruption. So the cops can't really catch it. Just like Liberia, we got certain things everybody does. It's corrupt. But nobody will say anything about it. Every culture got that. So this show is just to educate you, my people. You know, I'm not a partisan. I'm not into this hatred and tribalism and nepotism. I just see things as they are, and I tell you what I see. So that's my class for this morning. I got a lot of things to do. And let me tell you, I will not be on for the rest of the week. I may not be on for 2 weeks. I'm going to the mountain. Our Christian church is so broken down, we need some people to go to the mountain. I'm going to the mountain. I'm going to the mountain. I'll be away for 2 weeks. I'm going to the mountain. Record this. I'm going to the mountain for 2 weeks. I will not be there for 2 weeks. I'm going to the mountain. I'm going to the mountain for 2 weeks. I will not be back for 2 weeks. When I return from the mountain, you shall have my messages. Aluta, continue. My time is out. Have a good day, my people. I'll see you when I come back from on the mountain. I'm going to the mountain. I'm going to the mountain. Like the Liberian pastor and the prophets, I'm going to the mountain. If they can go to the mountain, I can go to the mountain too. We're going to the mountain. We're going to the mountain. Have a good day, everybody.